Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A lot of comedians will start their set. They'll say, crazy thing happened on the way here tonight. Nothing happened on the way here tonight, so buckle in. It's my life for you. I am here though. That's a good start. That's a good start for a comedy gig. I am present at the gig. I had a show in the Melbourne Comedy Festival at the start of this year. Hold your applause. I had a show Friday night, sold out gig, 100 tickets, sold out. Melbourne Comedy Fest. The only problem, I was in Adelaide. Not really the best start to a show, right? So I booked a flight with Tiger Air to get to Melbourne. I was 2 minutes late for check-in with Tiger Air. Quick survey, who thinks I got on that plane? No. Because I didn't realise that's how Tiger make their money. They deliberately overbook flights knowing some people won't make it. Pfft, we got your money, fuck you, right? This happened, right? I needed to be in Melbourne. I couldn't be stuck in Adelaide. I broke down at the airport. I was in tears. I was like, is there anything you can do? Next flight to Melbourne, Qantas, $650. And it got me there 60 minutes after the 1 hour start time of my show. Right? Not ideal for this guy. I called my best mate, Timmy. He's a pilot. I called my best mate, Tim, and I said, Tim, is there anything you can do to get me to Melbourne? He called me back 15 minutes later and he goes, Bowley, you won't believe this, but there is an empty plane about to taxi from Adelaide to Melbourne, and I've got you your own seat on that plane for $0. How cool is that? I went from fucking Tiger to my own private plane in 15 minutes, right? This is an absolutely true story. And because it wasn't a commercial flight, we didn't have to use the check-in gates. So we actually got to walk directly across the tarmac to the plane. Up until that point, I'd been calling it the plane car park. The captain, as they do, announced that that was incorrect. But as we're walking, I'm walking with the flight crew across the tarmac to the plane, and one of the cabin crew turns to me and goes, this must be a little bit weird, walking across the tarmac. And I was like, lady, this is Adelaide. Until 3 years ago, you could drive up to the plane. Strap yourself to a wing, off you go, right? So literally, my own private flight, a Fokker 50, I'm the only passenger on that plane. But there's a quirk, a small quirk, with civil aviation law that no matter how many passengers are on a plane, even if it's just one, they still have to do, in its entirety, the safety demonstration. So you had a cabin crew that thought they had the afternoon off, that now had to stand in front of me doing the whole fucking, here's a life jacket, here's a seatbelt. Oh, I hope this plane crashes now. Can you imagine how awkward it must have been for that lady to perform the safety demonstration to one person? I guarantee you, not as awkward as it was for me just ignoring her while I was on my phone. Good mate, Timmy. Good mate. He got me on that plane, right? The thing you need to know, especially if you're not from Australia, you need to know that mate is a very loose terminology, isn't it? Mate on its own doesn't necessarily mean anything. We say mate in Australia like it's breathing. We just mate. Mate on its own, useless word, right? Mate has no direct meaning. If you say old mate, that has meaning, doesn't it? Old mate means that guy, doesn't it? You could have known old mate for 8 years. You just haven't bothered to learn his name because it doesn't matter. It's just old mate, isn't it? Strange coincidence. I've lived next door to 4 different old mates. How crazy is that? You hear old mate died? Fine. Hopefully his missus doesn't miss him. What's her name, right? My mate means a real connection, doesn't it? My mate Timmy, my mate Jono. That's a friendship. That's quantifiable. Then you got the last one, the fourth one, the bad one. Your mate. If you hear someone referred to as your mate, that means they are a total objectionable cockknuckle that no one wants anything to do with. If you're at a party and you hear the words, who invited your mate, you know what that means? Some arse has just rocked up with a six-pack with 3 beers already drunk out of it, a box of Arnott's savoury shapes, and they clearly weren't invited. Party's over. Your mate, right? Got married recently. Yay. That's a lot of fun. Thank you. We're trying to make a kid. Tried several ways. I've heard there's one that will work, right? I'm not worried about having a kid. What I'm worried about is naming a child. Naming a child is a lot of pressure, right? You name a kid, that's the kid's whole destiny laid out before it. And naming kids has just gone completely off the rails lately. I don't know if you noticed, but when I was a kid, like when I was born, the name book that you'd get from the newsagent when you were pregnant, that had about 10 names in it. It was that thick. Half the names were good for guys and girls. Something happened in the last 20 years where someone wound down the window and threw the name book out. Now, just anything works for a kid's name. I was at a kid's party recently, a 4th birthday party. I was invited, by the way. Let me spell that out. I was at a 4th birthday party recently. I met 2 very special little units. I met a little boy called Zook. Yeah, Z-O-O-K, Zook. It's not a name, that's a sound effect. Then I met a little girl called Shaquola. Yeah. And I checked, both of her parents completely white. I had to look. I was curious. That sounds like an energy drink, doesn't it? Hey, chuck us another can of Shaquola. Zook. These aren't names, okay? But I think what we should do is we should have to apply for baby names. You should have to have like a 1-month waiting period of your suggested name. Because shit's gone crazy, right? I think too many people these days are just making up words. I've got a friend that works at the Women's and Children's Hospital. Twice in the last year, somebody has named their kid Absidy. Yeah. A-B-C-D-E, Absidy. That's now a name. If you want to pinpoint the downfall of humanity, stop looking at Trump, cast a gaze over fucking Absidy's way. That's where it happened, right? How about this? Can we just agree on 3 simple rules if you're going to name a kid? How about this? No more random words, okay? No more just made-up words. We've got enough. Rule number 2, no more existing words as baby names. Because this is too common these days as well. A lot of rich people, celebrities love this. Chris Martin from Coldplay, what did he call his kid? Apple. Kanye West called his kid North. Like, Northwest, come on. Best writer in the world, my ass. Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, Sunday Roast. These aren't names, okay? These are words. How about this as a rule? If you can play your kid's name in a game of Scrabble, it's a word, not a name. Because that's the rules of Scrabble. 3rd rule. Can we just use vowels where vowels are meant to go and stick to the regular 26 letters of the alphabet? How about that? Because this is too common these days as well. There'll be a brand new baby, just delivered, and the doctor's like, congratulations, guys. Beautiful little girl there. What are you going to call her? We're going to call her Jessica. Cool. Good name. I had an Absidy last week. Let me just write that down for you. You probably can't. Jessica, Jessic. No. Our Jessica's special. We're going to spell it J, 3, $, Y, K, A, H. Jessica. You know what? Strike 3. No, you're not. No baby for you. That's how this works. Back to wandering around Westfield, you virus. What I love about that scenario is I didn't name anyone in particular, but every one of you just imagined exactly the right person. It's that family with a pram 10 children wide going around the supermarket and every one of them's got a 2-litre Coke. Just... I'm not for global warming. If we could isolate it to just some suburbs, flood them. I actually got asked to be the godfather of my best friend's baby. How cool is that? I think it's pretty nice. I said no, because of all this, but also because I didn't agree with the name. Like, my best friend called his kid... Quick survey. Anyone here know someone with the name Helen? Chuck your hands up if you know a Helen. Right there. Did you say that's your name? Oh, you're going to love this. How old is your Helen? Roughly. It's his mum. Of course it is, right? Because her name's Helen. Yet for some reason, my best mate and the thing that he had this kid with decided to call a baby Helen. That's not a name, that's a life sentence. That's not a baby's... I was actually there the day Helen was born. I was at the hospital and the doctor delivering her was like, "Congratulations, guys, it's a woman." There you go. Hey, old baby Helen. What a beautiful HR manager you've bred. Ladies and gentlemen, Helen, thank you very much. Good night.